Hey, welcome to the Natural Medic Adventures. My name is Craig, the Natural Medic, and welcome to another episode. On this week's episode, we're going to talk about storing your outdoor gear properly. I'm going to give you 4 tips that will help you better take care of your gear and make it last for a long time. Now, all of us know that our gear is expensive, right?
Expensive.
We know that when we go to wherever we buy our gear, whether that happens to be REI or Amazon, even Walmart, wherever we go and buy our gear, sometimes it can get pricey. Because of that, we want to make sure that we take care of it. The first step in taking care of your gear is to make sure it is cleaned properly.
Clean.
I'm not going to get too much in detail on that because I have done another episode about this very topic following my handy and helpful instructions that I'll link below. And make sure once you've done that everything is nice and clean. If you put up dirty gear, that could encourage mold growth. It can not make the item last as long as you want it to last. Step number 2 is go ahead and select the proper storage location. Now, I know everybody's situation is different. Everybody has a different place that they are able to store their gear, and that can vary. I'm in Texas. Texas is its own place, but if you want to call Texas the South, it is the south central part of the United States, and majority of the state, especially the part that I live in, the eastern part, gets very hot in the summertime and it gets very humid. You probably want to rule out places like attics, your car trunk, or the back of your SUV or something like that. You want to rule that kind of stuff out because it gets so hot in there, along with the humidity, that it can destroy the material that a lot of that stuff is made from. So you don't want to do that. Additionally, places like a garage might not be the best place. We don't have basements in this part of Texas, but if you're in like the Northeast, I know they have a lot of basements up there. Midwest, the basement is not really a good choice because it's dark in there, it's damp, and very humid environment. You want to have an environment that is climate controlled and also is not subject to a large amount of changes in moisture and humidity. If you can, try to store it inside your house or in a place that is somewhat not subject to big differences in temperature changes. Ideally, a closet in your house would be great. Possibly if you have to do under the bed for some items, that would work. Preferably inside of your house or wherever you live where it's climate controlled would be the best place to do that. Let's talk about some similar type items that you want to store and how you would store those. If you're getting value out of this video, go ahead and give me the thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Now, talking about tents.
Intense. Get it? Intense.
Inexpensive tent that I've used for some time, I got from Walmart. It's a one-person backpacking tent, and it's cheap, but I still want to try to preserve it. The best thing you can do for tents is to store them outside of the bag when you're not on the trail. Take them out of the bag and kind of let them be loose and uncompressed. That will preserve their life. As far as the poles, if they have poles, you can store them just in the old storage bag. Tents separately. You can put those in your main bag if you like. We're going to talk about sleeping items. Now, if you saw my cleaning video about how to clean your equipment, I got directly from the manufacturer. I know that not everybody is a fan of Climate, but this is what I'm using right now. For my sleeping pad, for a majority of the year, this is the Static V insulated. Per the manufacturer, this pad is designed to be stored inside of its bag rolled up, and that's fine. Now, other manufacturers may tell you different things, so follow their instructions and all will be good. Go to their manufacturer's website and see how you need to store this.
This sleeping bag is insanely comfortable.
Now, for your sleeping bags themselves or quilts, this is my quilt that I have. This one is the Featherstone Moon Dance quilt. It's an inexpensive quilt as far as quilts go, but still, this thing runs around 200 bucks. And I don't want it damaged or destroyed unnecessarily because of how I'm storing it. You wanted to have something like a laundry bag. I picked up at my local dollar store, and it works great. Now, some of your higher end items, they may come with a more breathable bag stored in that. If you have room, you can put that up above. I have room in my closet. I can put that up above to have plenty of room for it to be out. I'll show you that in this clip right here, where I store my bag. Now, the other thing you can do for your bag, if you don't have a place to lay it in a shelf or on top of a shelf or whatever, you can use the loops at the end of the bag or the quilt and hang it. I'll show you what that looks like right here. Now, when you do that, you can hang it vertically so that it doesn't take up as much room, and it still can air out and be not compressed. You don't want to have these items compressed, because when you get out there and it is cold, you want to have that loft in your quilt or your sleeping bag, but it allows you to stay warm. Store it in a mesh or cotton breathable bag, and either put it up on a shelf or hang it up. We're going to talk about backpacks.
These giant backpacks.
Now, I just switched to this backpack at the beginning of the year. I've taken it on just one trip so far. I used some other bags, as you may have seen in my other videos, for some other trips. But this is going to be my go-to bag from now on. It's the REI Flash 55 in a size large. I love the green color. And not really on the high end of some of the bags out there, but it's not really on the low end either. It's right in the middle. I believe this one runs about $1.99. So I want to make sure this thing lasts and I can use it for many years to come. The thing about backpacks is, of course, clean them, make sure they're dry. Clean them according to my instructions in my other video. Make sure they're dry and debris free. You want to store these either vertically if you can. I can store mine vertically in my closet, but you can also put these under your bed, and that'll work out great. We're going to talk about footwear.
Shoes?
Now, on most of my trips, I am wearing these Salomon. These are the Salomon Speedcross 4. Whatever footwear you have, you want to make sure you clean them before you put them away. Make sure that they are not a dirty sole like this. I have these out in my garage right now, but when I get ready to store these later in the year, I will make sure I clean them really well. Probably just drop them in the washer, and I'll take the insoles out, of course, and let them dry. Now, you can shove newspaper in there to dry them out, and that will help. When I'm ready to store these, perfect place for these to be stored would be underneath my bed if I didn't have other space. Luckily, I do have other space in my closet. If you want to keep these usable for many years, you want to take care of those as well. I hit the high points there. And for all the other individual little items, I just keep little bins around that I can store flashlights, multi-tools, odds and ends, things like that. I have a couple of other bins that kind of serve to hold my other items in my closet area. Be careful about storing stuff in a bin that's fabric of some kind, either sleeping bags, backpacks, tents, because all that stuff needs to breathe and be able to air out in order to stay long lasting. I hope this video gave you some ideas about how to store your gear properly. I hope it helps out. Help me out to grow this channel by hitting the thumbs up if you got value from this video. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification to find out about new videos as I release them. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you out there on the trail. Bye-bye.